So today I'm going to have a conversation with Hannah Nelson. She is the president at our IPC student chapter at Valparaiso University, and she also serves as the IPC Student Board Liaison Officer, representing the IPC student members on the IPC Board of Directors. So thank you for your time, Hannah. I hope you're doing well.
Sure.
Excellent. You are probably busy with school starting soon.
Absolutely. I have school starting tomorrow and I am not ready for it, but I'm excited for all my classes.
Well, we wish you all the best with the studies, because I know that that's a way for yourself to be enriched, but I need you to please help us to enrich and guide fellow students across America about the IPC student member program that we have in terms of the chapters. So if you belong to an IPC student chapter at your university or your community college, you have the ability to drive that club or student organization from a student perspective to make sense of electronics manufacturing as an industry, to connect with your peers and students that is like-minded, to also utilize the resources that IPC provide to connect with industry members within your local area or wider. And I know we have lots of programs. I know you also serve as an emerging engineer apprentice on that program. So there's definitely lots of value and benefits, but I think I don't necessarily, as the Senior Director of the IPC Education Foundation, want to talk about it. I need someone in the shoes of a student member at IPC who joined, who participated, who's a leader on their campus, who applied for scholarships, who make use of the opportunities to share and to guide students who also want to follow in your footsteps. So thank you, Hannah, for your time.
Absolutely. I hope this can help several different students and chapters.
Excellent. So, Hannah, maybe if you want to take us back at Valparaiso University, like what are the steps that you needed to take to actually start an IPC student chapter on your campus?
So I started our IPC student chapter in the summer of 2021 as a couple of our students and our advisor had reached out to me to become a leadership position on our IPC student chapter. We originally had a chapter sort of going before COVID happened, but when COVID happened, it completely fell off. And so we were starting completely from scratch. And I originally did not know what to do. So I reached out to my advisor, and my advisor told me to contact the Education Foundation. So I reached out to the Education Foundation and coordinated several events and was like, what do you believe I should do to start my chapter? And so we executed some of these events. They helped me host a kickoff event. And from there, I reached out to our student senate, got a budget figured out for the school year and a constitution and bylaws to help execute some of those events. And then I think in terms of recruitment, to help retain new members and get more people on our leadership team, I talked to people throughout my courses, throughout my university, and different activities I was in, and preached about the benefits that IPC had that I had already experienced in my own career, and also put up several different advertisements throughout the College of Engineering. I would guess that is what I did.
That's fantastic. And I think the key message is you were proactive and you literally went and spoke to people on campus to connect dots and to see, what you can do to enrich yourself, but also bring something to your fellow students. So that is part of being a leader amongst your peers. So that's the one key. And then your chapter advisor seems like played a very important role. So if there is a message to current educators at a university, community college, or instructor, professor, what is the role of that chapter advisor? What is the importance of having that support to you specifically on your campus?
I believe a chapter advisor is there to help educate and encourage their students to take on a leadership role in their chapter. My advisor, what he wanted us to do is for our IPC chapter to be fully student run, us to take complete charge and create our own events, contact our student organizations on campus and see what our peers were interested in. Not like his own advice. He gave us some advice, but not like becoming like the sole leader in our organization, having us help take a role in that organization and providing those contacts to help the organization grow.
That's fantastic. And is there any role that the advisor in a way can play in terms of, sending messages to fellow students in the engineering department, or how does it work? Or is it mainly word of mouth, students talk? Can you maybe guide us a little bit in terms of how people learned about kind of your kickoff event? What did you do?
I would say my advisor helped. He had a lot of contacts in the College of Engineering, and so tons of professors were able to promote extra credit opportunities in their classes. So if a student were to go to our event, they would gain extra credit opportunities. I had several classmates and friends that I reached out with and was promoting the benefits of IPC and was like, this has already helped me in this way, and I know it can help you in this way. And then also kind of making events that they would be interested in. Because as a college student, our time is incredibly valuable. We're at one club 1 minute, and then we're at class the next minute. And then homework 12 hours of the day. And so finding activities that were worth our time, I thought was the most valuable part in order to coordinate these events. So I guess that's how I promoted the chapter activities.
Awesome. And tell me a little bit more about kind of types of chapter activities that you have maybe done in the past and things that you as the chapter president are planning along with your team moving forward for the next semester.
So last fall when I started, most of my events, I had about 2 of them because I was trying to be in the background, planning how I was going to grow our chapter. So working with our student senate, working with my advisor. But some of those events were, I had a kickoff event where the Education Foundation came to our school and promoted IPC and talked more about, to me and our students, about how they were there to help and the different activities we could run in our event, in our chapter. And then another event that we had, which I really loved, was a PCB Christmas tree. It was like a PCB Christmas tree LED light up event that they could make their own 3D printed Christmas tree and solder it. And they got to take those home, and it really encouraged a lot of individuals to get excited about the electronics industry. And moving forward, I'm planning on hosting several Women in STEM events. So I'm planning on hosting a Women in STEM industry event where several speakers from Lockheed Martin, Honeywell, IBM are going to come and talk and encourage other young women to get into the electronics industry. And then also a young high school girls soldering event to teach them how to solder and gain those professional and development skills before they enter the real world.
That's fantastic. It sounds so much fun. And I know that, the soldering activity that we do at the IPC Apex STEM event is always a big hit. And so I'm grateful that certain elements, trickle down onto the chapter level. And I think I've seen the Christmas trees that you guys made. So that was amazing. Being, a student, and what you mentioned earlier with all of the, things that you need to do to grow your profile personally, professionally, and get your degree or your qualification at the end of the day and plan of these things, it's a lot. But in terms of being an IPC member, first and foremost, what are the benefits that you feel spoke to you and also to members at part of your chapter?
I believe what's so beneficial about IPC is the networking. Even before I got into the Emerging Engineer program or the Student Board Director program, I was able to network with several individuals within the industry. Wendy Gaston reached out to me and had me talk to several different industry companies around me to coordinate events with them. But even going into the Emerging Engineer program, I was able to talk with people from IBM, Honeywell, Lockheed Martin, and gain their insights and mentorship. And it's completely changed my life and my professional development career. I would also say, like, the courses they provide, learning more about the electronics manufacturing process. At my school, that is not within our curriculum, and I had no idea that was even a part of the industry. And so even learning about that, that's set me up for my future career and what I want to do this next year. And then also the scholarships. I believe the scholarships are incredibly beneficial. I was paying for college on my own, and so even having that help to like alleviate some of the time I would be using working to gain that money to pay for school, I was able to use to like build my own chapter.
That's fantastic, Hannah. And that's very true. You know, being part of the IPC membership, you have opportunities to connect with the industry and to network. And each of our student chapters are in a, you know, place where we have IPC members serving the industry in their backyards, and they are looking for talent. And so accessing some industry, you know, related content that is not necessarily covered by your curriculum that you do is an added bonus, because you can speak the language that the industry folks need. So I think that already makes an interview for an internship or a co-op or a job so much easier. And then, you know, the scholarships, I'm so thankful to know that, you know, you applied in the past, you won a scholarship, and you can apply once again. So as long as you're a member, you can apply once a year, and $1,000 is an added bonus, and you can apply that to where you have a gap or purchase textbooks or something like that. It warms my heart, and I know everybody at IPC and the leadership will be thankful to learn that, you know, it does go towards, you know, crucial elements to grow and prepare yourself for the industry. Apart from, you know, all of the great activities that you have done and what you are going to do, the chapter size that you currently have, because I know, you know, it's not necessarily, you know, as if we are talking about thousands of students belonging to it. In terms of growing the chapters, hope that engagement, being attending events that psychs up and want people to be part of a network. But for a transition, in terms of when people graduate and they move on, what plans do you have as part of the leadership for the chapter to ensure that the hard work that you are putting in will continue even though you will move on in the future?
So originally, we were planning to host our elections at the end of last semester, because most of our College of Engineering organizations have their elections in the spring semester. But one of my friends brought up to me that it would be an excellent idea to host our elections at the end of December, so that I am still there to help provide guidance for our next leadership. So then it's an easier transition into the next school year. So we're planning on having our elections in December, and we'll promote this through our advisor and our College of Engineering social media.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. And it is important to have that, you know, continued level of, you know, effort that you put in and hand over to someone new. So in terms of that recruiting, you will just do posts and messages through an internal network to the chapter members, and they will know about it. What struggles have you ran into besides COVID? I think that was for everyone in the world, something that no one even saw coming, and it definitely created a lot of barriers and still is a problem. So what struggles beside COVID did you as a chapter ran into to ensure that there's new students and people know about it and want to join? If you have, please share.
I believe the biggest struggle was retaining talent. Because a lot of our students are in several different organizations. The average is about 5 organizations at Balbo. So they can be doing Dance Marathon, they can be doing IEEE, IPC, but it's like, what makes our organization stand apart from the other organizations? So planning those events was incredibly useful for retaining the talent that we needed. So like asking our students, what events do you want to go to? Like what will help your professional and technical development the most and is worth your time? And to also help promote like recruitment and retainment, we're planning on going to our student org kickoff, like student organization kickoff event at the beginning of this week to help bring in some of those new freshmen that have no idea what our organization is about and have them become excited about IPC.
Awesome. So you have to be present on campus. You need to be active, proactive. You need to plan, ahead of time. In terms of chapter leadership, one person cannot do it all. So do you have other fellow leaders or folks that's part of the chapter that support to plan and coordinate all of these chapter operations, or how does it work on your campus?
I believe this is the hardest part for me because I'm the type of person that loves to be super proactive and take charge of everything. But I know I've realized over the past year as being a leader that I can't do it all. So I have reached out to our vice president who takes over some of the communication externally onto like these high schools for this event, or people within the industry to like help bring speakers into our school. And then we have our secretary who like writes up our meeting minutes and like helps coordinate events with the College of Engineering, and also our public relations chair who helps promote to the people what events we're having, and our treasurer who allocates our budget and makes sure that we're getting our funding we need from Student Senate.
Wow. So it's like 5 leadership positions: president, vice president, a treasurer, a secretary, and was there someone else? I don't remember.
Public relations.
Public relations. Fantastic. So I did listen. So it's the 5 officers plus the chapter advisor. And it really turns out that teamwork and those meetings that you have sets the tone for everything that you do. And as a benefit on the back end, those are skills that you can add to your resume as well. Because recruiters are not necessarily always interested in someone with the right paperwork or the right GPA, but they want to know for you in terms of a cultural fit. So do you feel serving as a student leader on your campus adds to your professional profile?
I believe it absolutely adds to your professional profile. I believe I've completely changed as an individual being in the IPC Education Foundation program. I've grown completely in my network. I've grown completely in my leadership skills and my professional skills and my technical skills. And I just believe it's incredibly beneficial. It's helped me in my internships this past summer with Caterpillar, or even on my several other organizations that I'm a part of on campus.
That's wonderful news, and that's what we really want to do as the foundation. Why IPC started the foundation? It is to support, help, and grow students interested to pursue careers in the electronics manufacturing industry. And Hannah, you are a true ambassador to the foundation, to IPC, not only based on the positions that you serve in, but the activities that you do on the ground. So we are very thankful for your time and for being a true leader amongst your peers. We also just want to say if there's anyone interested to start a student chapter, they can reach out to the IPC Education Foundation. And I know Hannah would also be more than willing to share her thoughts, her ideas. But Hannah, is there anything else that you want to say to fellow students out there interested to start a student chapter?
I believe the one thing is just be there and promote your chapter. Do what is incredibly passionate, what you're incredibly passionate for, and others will see it. So if you have a passion for IPC and everything that they're promoting, others will see it and they'll gain interest, and you'll recruit more people into your chapter.
Thank you, Hannah. That's great advice. We appreciate you. Good luck with the start of the semester, and we will talk soon.
Thank you, Charlene.
Have a good day.
You too.